I'm Katrina, and this is Sew and Tare. Welcome to the week in review for the week of August 22, 2022. This week I have noticed that Miss Meatball especially has been getting some color back. So I waited too long to film this today, so the light needs a flashlight. But little Miss Meatball, her ears, yeah, you were waiting for that, huh? You see how her ears are a little splotchy? Got some white and some black and some white and some black again. They all used to be this other color. But the nights are getting cool enough that she is changing her colors back. And you can see her nose. Oops, sorry, sweetie. Her nose is dark right here. And it's starting to extend that darkness. So that darkness will be a little bigger, and if she'll let us see her feet, she just wants to be pet. If she'll let us see her feet, can we see your feet? Can we see your feet? You don't want to? She just wants to be pet. There's her feet. Good job. So there's her feet. You can see, oops. You can see how light they are, and they actually look kind of dirty, but they're not. That's the color that they lighten to this summer. And then they will be just as dark as her nose and not that long. So she's a mix of Californian and New Zealand, black New Zealand. And so she has the California coloring, which includes these dark spots. I just thought that was interesting. Thought I'd share. Thank you, Miss Meatball. And she would sit here for like half an hour like this, letting me pet her, but I'm not going to film that long. So little Miss Overraptor was broody again, weren't you? It took a few days to get her unbroody, and I actually ended up putting a board in their coop, and they slept out on their perch out here for a couple nights. Hi, sweetie. And that, yeah, I know. Camera's too close to catch that. But she was asserting her dominance over Rexy. It seems like every time she goes broody, the pecking order gets messed up. She's always been top dog. Rexy's next in line, and then Smilo is the one over there. She's on the bottom rung. And that's been the order of things pretty much throughout. It's just that Overraptor, when she goes broody, she kind of stays out of everybody's way because she's in the box. Oh, Rexy. You number two? But not bedtime yet? You thought it was, but maybe not? Silly chickens. Well, we finally have some tomatoes. This is the cherry tomato that planted itself. This is the most tomatoes we've had. No regular tomatoes yet. It's just been too hot in different time periods. We have a few green beans left on here, but it looks like a lot of them got crispified. Chinese chives are starting to set their fruits inside which there be seeds. I've been planting this around the yard. And then the only borage still flowering in the yard is that is still getting watered. So this is one that's actually in a pot with a blueberry. The green stalk is doing really well. There's no red on here because I did just harvest a bunch. I'll put a picture in here to show you that. And some jalapenos. The jalapenos that I planted in here, they were just from the store because my seeds did not actually grow well. They are not very big, so I think I'll be replacing those next year. Some parsley in there. So next year, these will be cut back, and then they'll go in the screen and porch for the winter, and then when it's time to grow them again, I'll bring them outside and they'll just start growing. But this cayenne, it's actually the far one right there. That is such a big plant. I just harvested a bunch off of this. And it's laying down though. So I think next time, when it's winter, when it's going into winter, I'm going to cut them back. So I'm going to cut them back like, pretty severely. That way they'll be bushy, because while the cayenne, it produces a lot, but it's pretty leggy. So I think if it's a tighter plant, then it'll work better on this system, because it turns and it bumps into things. So that's my plan. We'll see what actually happens. All right, our little broody mama's still on their nest. Very good. Everybody's looking good. The integration of a couple more females in here. We integrated 4 more, I think. 5, I think. We integrated more in here. And they are doing really good with each other. Aren't you? You want the camera? Yeah? Hi, funny girl. So this is what they do when it gets hot. See how low he is? When it gets hot, they just dig right in, and that helps protect them from the elements. You can barely see his back. I have the camera about 4 inches above the ground. Whoop, that bird just fell in that hole. So there's a couple different holes, and of course they just like to peck around. But these guys are doing good in here. The fig trees are doing good. This is the fig that's kind of been struggling, but it looks like it's bouncing back. This pumpkin that we've been following, I really should have harvested that a while ago. I need to do that. But there is one more up here. I was really hoping that this whole arch would become pumpkins. But it's kind of looking like we might just be getting 2. So not very prolific, but we will see if it's tasty. This willow is doing tremendously well. And again, I did not plant that. That is just from chips that were here, from the wood chips that I brought in at one point. These, however, that I put in a pond, hoping to root, are not doing too hot. I think they're probably dead. I'm going to leave them in there a little longer in case anything underwater is alive, but that's pretty much it. The pond's doing good. I haven't talked about the pond very much, but I have, this is water hyacinth, and it gets really big here, and it can actually flower here in the parts of the pond that has sunlight, and it will flower better in the sunlight. There's some horsetail, some calla lily in there, and then I do have duckweed, which I know you can feed animals. My chickens don't like it, but I think I'm going to try harvesting this and drying it for the quail. Might do that. And then this is watercress, this one right here, and that is edible. Behind that branch of a very robust pluot that did not give me any fruit is the Ann apple tree, and she is in flower just on this one little branch right here. There's also sweet potatoes underneath it. I did not think when I was planting a tree and sweet potatoes in the same spot, because as you know, where you grow trees, you do not dig it up. And when you grow sweet potatoes, you dig it up. So this is an area that, I might dig in every once in a while, every few years, and get some sweet potatoes, but for the most part, this can be grown for the greens. So this has nice leaves that are edible and are tasty. So this area is actually just for the greens, I think, at this point. But we may have a couple more apples later in the fall, This is an early apple, so she is super abused right now. So here's something on the side of the house that I totally forgot because I haven't really been spending much time over here. These are carrot seeds. So I should be collecting those. I should be planting them, I think, sometime soon. But I'll be collecting those. So we have lots and lots of different umbels of seeds here, which is cool. Now this is something some people might recognize, some people might not. Let me open up one of these pods. Alright, so here's a couple pods. I'm just gonna, like that. And I will blow away the rest. And what you're left with, that is flaxseed. It grows really well here, and there's just these little seeds. All this is seeds that I got from the grocery store for flax, like that you would eat. And I threw them out in my yard right before it rained during when it was getting into the rainy season, which is winter here. And there's your flaxseed. And you can eat them. To get the goodness of these, you have to bite through the outer coat. You can't just swallow them, it'll just go right through. So bite through the outer coat. And the rest of these, this is how we plant flax. Okay, there you go. That's planting flaxseed. There has been this mess of a tomato that, this is the second year it's been here. Don't know what kind it is. It doesn't look like a cherry tomato. It looks like a big tomato, but it has flowers. It had flowers before. It has flowers. It's pretty sprawling. It's not getting any extra water. It did start at a leak, and we fixed that leak. But I'm hoping for tomatoes. I don't know. It's not a tomato year, but this thing sure is growing. Alright, one more thing is that this pear, I think might be ripe. My other pear got fire blight, and it's, you know, not doing well. But how you know if pears are ripe is you just pluck them up, or pick them up just like I just did, and it comes off, it's ripe. Now this is still hard, so this is going to go in the refrigerator, and it can be in the refrigerator for, you know, 3 or 4 weeks before you eat it. It's going to be sweeter then. So let me show you on this one, see if this one's ripe. Yeah, see that one? Oh, it did break. That one broke. So our harvest is not going to be that big this year, but at least the rats aren't getting them like a couple years ago. So I'm going to pick the rest of these later today, but that's a pretty good pear. So this is a young tree. This is the full harvest. So thank you for watching. I am excited about QuailCon. QuailCon's coming up this next weekend. So if you see me there, say hi. I'd like to meet you. And if I don't see you there, then have a great weekend. So no Monday video next week. That's going to be a travel day for me. So I hope that everyone has a great week and that you're looking forward to good things. Have a great week.